Hey, and welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Fantasy Football Podcast. My name's Huck Breeze, and I am joined here once again by Scott Sheddick. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We have our teams now. We're well into the mix of things. We're getting ready for week one. I'm very excited. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, fantastic. Besides, Rasheed Rice changing his suspension a few
Well,
weeks before the
I think
season.
it's better now than later because later, like, what if you lose him for the playoffs or something? So
No, either way, he was going to play for the playoffs. That wasn't the
well,
point. The point was he was
the
going to play
but
4 weeks.
they were talking about it could have been an 8-week suspension after September 30th before. So I'm just saying it was never certain before. So to go ahead and get 6 out of the way, just go ahead and do it. It's you knew it was coming. It wasn't a surprise necessarily. It just came sooner than you thought.
I just think that I wanted him for the first 4 weeks to set that foundation for the season
Yeah,
because
and
we
like
can trade.
have time to find somebody else during those 4 weeks to replace him
Right.
after. Yeah, I get
If
that.
if
And
I'm
now
three
it's
and
just like
one,
cut your knee, cut your legs out from underneath you.
yeah, now it's like, okay, now the pressure is on to win some games early on so that I can, do this. Otherwise, if I'm like 0 and 2, 0 and 3, like there is a little like there's gonna be in the back of my head like trade Rasheed Rice for less than he's worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get him off your
Mm-hmm.
team
Try to get
because we
somebody.
gotta win. We
Yeah,
gotta
we got to
win
win now.
now.
Yeah.
I knew if I got Rasheed Rice, let's just say he puts up, 15 points week one, 10 points week two, like I got some solid stuff out of him, then I'm like, okay, I can fill in until he comes back for week, I think 12, 13, 14, and I'm, I'm money. I'm good to go from there. And then in the playoffs, if I make it, like that's worth the eighth round pick. Now it's just, you get the 3 games in the first 11 weeks. It's like, but anyway, I didn't want that, but
What did you think about the Micah trade today?
uh, a lot of people are saying like the Cowboys are stupid, and I don't necessarily think they're stupid as far as like what happened now. Like they're not stupid. It's like you said to a certain extent, maybe not fully, but Jerry Jones, that negotiation tactic of not. I mean, it just sounded like there was some personal vendetta against his agent. Like he had
He
negotiations.
just he knew he could get one over on Micah if his agent wasn't at the table, when he would never make a deal without his lawyers. I mean, probably a whole team of fucking lawyers. So it's just, and he thinks he got a handshake deal on the training field at one point, and he just went about it in such a slimy fucking way. And the fact that his whole goal is to just have the Cowboys be the number one story over during the offseason and during and things like that, over whatever it may be, because he believes in no publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity, basically. So he's like, well, the value of the Cowboys have gone up over the past 30 years, even though we haven't won a championship. So it's not about championships. And it's just like, dude, you're like, well, yes, your value has gone up. Everybody fucking hates you. Like everybody, they
Yeah.
just absolutely hates you. So it's just like, and for in order for a team to win a championship, everybody has to be fucking committed. When the owner of the team is just this slimy, fucking headlines chasing piece of shit, it's a little discouraging, I think, for everybody else there. It's pretty ridiculous.
It makes me wonder. I mean, so Micah's kind of the quarterback of the defense because he was the most talented player on their defense. It makes me wonder, like, if Dak would have done something like this, would they have done something like this to Dak? Right?
If Dak would have like gone out and said as much as he did, I think so. It's more about his pride and ego more than anything. After Micah went and said like he never wants to play for them again, and then Jerry Jones started going on like podcasts and like making shit up, and it's just
I
he was
think
like
it was
tried he
more Micah Parsons went further than I think Jerry thought that there is no point where somebody could say, I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys anymore. I really honestly think that Micah was like, bro, I'm not going to play for the
Like, I'm
Dallas
done.
Cowboys
Yeah.
anymore. And
Yeah.
Jerry's like, we'll work it out. Like, you've been an asshole and I hate your agent and like all this sort of stuff, but we're going to get it worked out before week one. And it eventually got to a point where Micah Parsons is like, I'm not going to play. Like, we're done talking. And then they were like, holy shit, this is actually happening. We have to trade him. I mean, they did
But
get two firsts.
yeah, but uh, he's probably the best pass rusher over the next 10 years in the league, and they set their defense back like probably 3 or 4 years in doing that. Like Dak basically has to be Joe Burrow now this year for them to have a chance, because their defense is going to be terrible. It was already going to be not very good because they still couldn't stop the run, but now they can't stop the run or the pass. So it's going to be next Thursday night. I think is going to be a fucking blowout now.
Well, what's interesting is they traded it within the NFC, right, to the Packers, somebody that
Yeah,
they could compete
face in the
for a
playoffs.
playoff spot.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't. Well, they're not a playoff team anymore, so I don't think so.
Well, I think the Cowboys are
I
plenty
think the Cowboys
talented.
think they are. Yeah,
I think they're plenty talented to still make the playoffs. I
they
think
were
that
third in their own division. They might be fourth now in their own
right.
division.
Well, no, I think they're better than the Giants still. Come on.
No, the Giants' defense is going to have a mean pass rush, and if once they
Yeah.
pull their head out of Russell Wilson's ass and stick it up Jackson Darts, they're going to be doing pretty well.
They trade him to the Packers. The Packers, whether you like it or not, are probably NFC contenders at the very least, right? Maybe Super Bowl contenders.
They're definitely contenders now.
Yeah,
They were teetering on it before, but now they are for sure NFC Championship material. I think, barring any kind of injuries.
right. And that's for going forward. This is not like a small window. Like you've got Jordan Love, who's young. You got Matthew Golden that you drafted. Josh Jacobs, a solid defense. So like, what were those first? Those firsts are good. Obviously, you love first round picks, but we're talking about firsts that very well could be 25 through 32. Not one year, but two of them, right?
Yeah.
When you're trading with some of these teams like the Panthers, the Browns, stuff like that, you're like, holy shit, I could get a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
The chances of the Packers getting a top 10 pick is just not great. So I'm sure they did their due diligence and they didn't really have a choice. It's a week till football, which is, a little
The
alarming.
choice was don't negotiate like an asshole from the
Yeah.
60s. That was the fucking choice. Like, oh man, that team is going to be fucked until Jerry's dead, basically.
I'm sure Cowboys fans are besides themselves right now.
Oh, I'd be livid. Oh man, like you fucking just forfeited the season right now.
So I think as far as jerseys are concerned, you've got like Dak probably number one, and then Parsons number two, and Lamb number three. Like there's millions of Parsons jerseys that are getting burned or
I wouldn't burn him because
dropped
it's
off
not
the
him.
goodwill.
I blame Jerry on this. I think he handled this completely wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a good show for you today. No matchups because matchups will be on Thursdays before the week starts. And we've got a lot to go in between then. I know it's only a week, but we have a lot of things that need to happen. There are some rosters in the gridiron that aren't even full at this point.
Shameful.
I know. Shameful. But before we get into any football, Scott, what are you watching?
We've been watching a few things. I actually finally went back and finished the AFC North Hard Knocks from last year in season one. I didn't finish it last year because the Steelers had such a terrible finish, so I just kind of stopped watching. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be depressing." And it was, but it was good to remember what happened, and it was a nice refresher of what happened in the end of that season. I'm also watching that Chiefs documentary, The Kingdom. Pretty good. That's good one. Also about last year, so another reminder of a lot of things that happened last year. A lot of wild games last year, making me very excited for this year. And I'm catching up on the Bills Hard Knocks just because Bills are fucking boring. Oh man, they're boring. They're like Pillsbury Doughboy bland and just like, hey, okay, yep, we're nice guys. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's it. Everybody's the same. That's all we got. every episode. All right, whatever. And then fucking James Cook was high as balls signing his fucking contract. Jesus, he was so high. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I personally wasn't enamored by the Bills this year.
Yeah, it's just boring.
Well, there's not a lot of good storylines. Usually what is fascinating about the Hard Knock seasons are they take these bad teams. You've got exciting off seasons. Good teams have boring off seasons usually.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're gonna bring in most like if you did the Chiefs, like, oh, there's Travis Kelce, there's Patrick Mahomes, like there's
you
this
need like a quarterback dispute or battle or something. You need like who's going to be our starting running back or things like you need some more position battles. Good teams don't have those.
Here's this rookie quarterback who's coming into this terrible team. Can he turn around? When they did the Lions and you had a brand new coach, it's like this is freaking awesome. Can they turn the team around? Even Jets, the Jets last year, I think like that was something where it's like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is coming in. That's kind of a new thing, with
last year's was the Bears, I think.
Was it the Bears?
2 years ago? 2 years ago was the Jets. Yeah.
But that's Aaron Rodgers.
They were both good. Yeah.
They were both good. So you've got people who are like, I don't want Hard Knocks coming into my fucking team. So we're just going to force it on the Bills. And nothing against Buffalo. I think it's great, but it's just like I don't know. It just wasn't.
It's boring.
Didn't grasp. Yeah.
What are you watching lately?
Thunderbolts just came out on Disney Plus. So me and the family watched Thunderbolts. I had not seen it until last night. Great film. Really liked it. Yeah.
I watched about an hour of it yesterday. It definitely tries very hard to appeal to a Gen Z audience. I could definitely see that. It's okay so far. It's better than I thought it would be. I'll give it that. I'm only about an hour in. I've got another hour. I'll probably watch it later tonight.
I like Florence Pugh. I think she's,
I think it's Pug.
I don't think so. No. You think it's Pug? Florence Pug?
Florence Pug? No? Is it not Florence Pug?
No.
I'll check on that. I'll check. No worries.
All right.
I guess we'll both be wrong for now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll try to bring somebody, see if it's Florence Pug. Yeah, some of our producers, can we look through the glass? Is there a Florence Pug?
They're shaking their head yes.
There was so I thought Florence Pugh would be just a side character in the Black Widow movie that they had a while back, where she plays Black Widow's sister. But turns out, they're thrusting her in a bigger role and in this movie and probably future movies, of course. And yeah, she's good. She's good. She's entertaining. That whole team that they've formed here is entertaining. So a lot of people flamed out on Marvel and said, I'm done. To me, kids love it. I love it. So we'll continue to watch until the superhero wheels just fall off completely and they just stop making them. So
they'll never stop making them. They'll just remake older ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I still watch them. I haven't watched. Have you watched the Captain America: Brave New World one?
Yeah, we saw it in theaters.
Oh wow! How was that?
Well, you got to understand, my son's like dressed up as he wore his outfit, his Captain America outfit to the movies. It was all right. It wasn't. So the thing about these Marvel movies is like you watch the Avengers.
You gotta lower your expectations. Basically, you're like, look, after Endgame, just kind of like know that it's no longer their A game. It's more of like C-level Avengers.
Well, it's weird because I don't know. You watch Avengers, and the Avengers movies were so popular because you have like 6 or 7 different superheroes from 6 or 7 different movies, all combining into one to like fight together or fight each other or do something, whatever. So you have all these personalities.
The bar was set too high, basically.
It is, and then you separate them back into these individual movies where they're fighting some this guy ain't Thanos. He's just he's somebody smaller, and it's just one superhero.
This little wimpy guy. He's Bob.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
Bob.
He's Bob or something. Like it's not Thanos. It's like something smaller, and there's only one guy fighting him or two guys fighting him. It becomes like, okay, well, this is part of the story, and I love the story, and I love the movie, but it's just not to that anticipatory. Like I gotta see this. I
Build
gotta
up.
know what
Yeah.
happens. Build up, and
Yeah.
so,
Well, I
um,
think to me the other problem is those Avengers also they all had their own movies. They all had their own like basically movie trilogies by the time they
mhm.
made to the Avengers, and they were all legitimate lead actors. They could hold a movie on their own with only a few other good actors in there, and it would still be a good movie. While I love a lot of the characters in like Thunderbolts, for instance, I don't think any of them are leads. I can't name a single lead in the
I,
entire movie other than maybe no, she's not really. She's not a lead. I was going to say Elaine. Elaine's not really a lead either. They're all supporting actors, which is fine. Supporting actors are great and you need good ones, but it doesn't it's on a different lower level than Avengers which had like 8 different leads in it basically.
so
So
David Harbour is a legitimate lead, I think.
the sheriff from fucking
Yes,
Stranger Things.
yeah.
Like maybe for like a B-level independent film, sure,
He
but
doesn't
not
play
like
the
a real
lead in the
movie
movie. He doesn't play the
because
lead
he's
in this
not a
movie,
lead.
but
It's I don't I
I
don't
think he
make the
could be a lead.
rules. I just point them out. I just
Yeah.
it's if you walk like a duck and quack like a duck and fart like a duck, then you're a supporting actor.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you are correct. Maybe you are correct. I laughed multiple times throughout the movie, so they did have a little bit of a comedic experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of laughter, I got to ask you something. You're a group chat laugher.
Throw a lot of
You Are you
ha-has out
really
there.
laughing? I got to know.
Well,
Are you
well,
really
well, you got to
laughing at all
understand
these?
there's different ha-has. There's like, oh, that's funny, but there's also like, ha ha. There's different ha-has.
Laughing at people? But no, I
Yeah.
mean, let me ask you
Sometimes I'm
this.
laughing with you. Sometimes I'm laughing at you. You never know.
But are you really laughing? Does something come out when you're reading a text like ha, ha, ha?
No, it's more of a smirk, more of a. But
Okay.
they don't have a smirk reaction. Like I mean,
I
I
think
guess I
they
could do the
do.
emoji. I could do the emoji, I guess, but that seems odd.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Because sometimes I'm confused. I'm like, that was that funny? I don't know. That
Was
might
that
have been
funny?
funny. I don't. You're a habitual laugher, and
Too
I'm like, is
much.
Shedding just cracking up? I will tell you one funny thing that I did actually laugh out loud in the group chat was when you thought you beat Clay in the championship, and it was actually
I
Danny.
really did Bloody Palmer this whole time. Well, because you
You
just go
go,
look at
suck
the
it,
look
Clay.
at the all-time standings, and it just says the name of the
Uh,
team and not the manager. So I was like, Bloody Palmer's. Yeah, that's a fucking Clay name if I ever heard it. And
well,
apparently, is Danny Walton. I had no
it is
clue this whole time.
weird that we had a Bloody Palmer's and a Furry Palms. It's like, how do
Uh,
you have these team names both with palms? So I get that, but like this is part of your lore, sir. Like, you didn't know you
it's
did beat Clay.
I think all it says is I need to win another championship. So it's
Sure.
not all about that one because that was a while ago now too. So
2014, 14.
2014, yeah,
Oh,
over
yeah,
over 10 years ago. So
yeah. Okay, let's hey, oh, before we get into the meat of our podcast today, I want to talk about what we're going to do for the rest of the season. So we do our pick'ems like we normally do. We've been doing these every season on Thursday before the games, but there's never ever ever been anything on the line. And I know you're not a gambler, right? You're not a big gambler. You don't
not a huge gambler, no.
if you gamble, you like to gamble actions, whether it be shots or, you know, slap bet or something along those lines. You don't like to gamble actual money, and that's okay with me. I propose something to you on the side, and that's we keep track of these pick'ems all year long. We can even bring in guest pickers throughout the year. The loser has to buy a nice, like really nice bottle of tequila and bring it to week 1, which we have kind of made a tradition to have at your house.
So like week 1 of next year, you're saying? Then?
Right. Yeah, I'm not bringing.
Yeah. I was gonna say we could, meet for the championship or something like that, but
Well, we could still do that if we're both in it. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that sounds like a good bet. I think that sounds, I like to have something on the line when we're making our pick'ems. I guess we'll just have to keep track of all the picks, really.
Yeah. I mean, so out of curiosity,
which out of curiosity, hold on, why can't we do the pick'em in Yahoo anymore?
they took it away.
They just took it away. That's so
I think
lazy.
it's not. I don't think it's been there for a while.
I thought it was just like a toggle you could do as a commissioner. Like, and you're just like, we don't need this anymore. And I was like, really? Come on, bring it back.
I don't think so. I can look.
But
while
we're on the subject, so once the games start, I can't pick up that person until Tuesday morning.
No.
If I have an open roster spot, I can pick up a person that's already started playing?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make that clear.
Yes, if you have an open roster spot. You cannot drop somebody whose game has already started that same day.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? So if Thursday, and Thursday isn't really that. It's mostly about Sunday.
Yeah, it's really about Sunday. Yeah,
it's really about Sunday. Thursdays and Mondays.
Look out for those Friday games. Those Friday games are sneaky.
Sure, but if you want to drop somebody who played on a Friday, you can do it on a Saturday. If you want to drop somebody that played on a Thursday, you can do it on Friday.
Really? Okay, so I can still drop someone that played. It just takes a day.
Mm-hmm. And you're not going to be able to put that person in your starting lineup.
Yeah.
So that's basically that's basically it now.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
It's preventing people from. It prevents people. First of all, it kind of locks people up so that they don't try to. They're like, this guy was on my bench. Who cares?
If I have a free roster spot, then I can still do whatever I want.
You could do whatever you want, correct?
I mean, like I said, it's just going to cost me. But.
Right, and I was about to keep an open roster spot until Rasheed Rice decided he didn't want to play. Then I had to commit it somewhere else. Anyway, okay, so I'm glad we came to an agreement on that. What we're going to do is talk about today. We're going to talk about breakouts, busts, free agents. We're going to give our picks for Rookie of the Year. We're going to give our picks for MVP, and we're going to give our picks for the Super Bowl. All these breakouts, busts, and free agents, or breakouts and busts, are not going to be on our team. Okay?
Yep.
So, do you want to go first with breakouts, or do you want me to go first?
You can start if you want.
Okay. Who should I go with first? Let's see. I need to have somebody. All right. I'm going to go with Jordan Mason from Eternal Touchdown.
Okay.
Here's why I like Jordan Mason. So, who was the running back for the Cowboys years ago? Marion Barber III. You remember?
Yeah,
he passed away. He passed away in the last few years.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
He did. Yeah, he did. But he had double-digit touchdowns. He was the hammer on third down. He, would get you like a good amount of points. He had a lot of multi-touchdown games. I really honestly think that can be Jordan Mason this year. May not be a huge threat out of the backfield, but Aaron Jones dropped down all of our boards for a reason, right? I mean, he's just not the same running back. In fact, I'm pretty amazed that I just realized that you had him. I'm really sorry about that
No, it's
conversation.
fine. No. Keep
But
going.
I'm really surprised that he is still got this starting job this late in his career. I mean, he is what? He's 31. He's 30. He'll be 31 by the end of the season. Um, that's the time when running backs start to either wrap it up or take a partial role. I'm not saying he's not going to be like good, but I just think that there's going to be a lot of spelling. There's going to be a lot of spelling and a lot of splitting time in the backfield with somebody. And Jordan Mason has shown us in the past when he was filling in for Christian McCaffrey that he can be a running back one. So I really like Jordan Mason as a running back two. Aaron Jones is almost definitely going to miss time. And so
he's basically
he is
retired.
But he has missed time pretty much every year, right? So last year I mean he's even if it's like one or two games, and if you miss that time, Jordan Mason, the younger back, will get some play, and I really think that that's somebody that we're looking at strongly as not only the starting running back for the Vikings next year, but somebody that could be maybe a third or fourth rounder, James Conner type back. So, that's my number one pick.
Interesting. My first guy up is Caleb Williams. I think he's actually going to have a fantastic year this year. At least point wise, I'm not saying necessarily they're going to win a ton of games, but I think no matter what, he's always going to be slinging it in that offense. So I think he's really going to have a big bounce back year after a disappointing rookie year.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's your next guy up?
This one's like so disappointing for me because I kind of wanted him during the season or during the draft, and I waited and waited and waited, and he was taken, and that's Ricky Pearsall. So Max
Ricky
got him in the 11th, and by process of elimination here, we're talking about a San Francisco team that I think is going to set personal records on passing yards this year. I think they're going to pass a fuck ton. But, and this is something like I'm not changing because I don't have definitive proof that some of these guys are not going to play besides Ayuk. Like Jennings has a calf problem, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. But
yeah, they've got a lot of injury issues over there.
They do have a lot of injury issues, but Ricky Pearsall is the one really healthy dude besides George Kittle on that passing offense. Like, yeah, you got Christian McCaffrey, and you've got Brian Robinson now, but on that passing offense, Ricky Pearsall, going into year 3, I mean that's a lot of targets and a lot of yards for a passing offense that in the past has been really good, and he showed us that he can be pretty good late in the year last year. I think 11th round, Pearsall probably should have been in the 9, 10, maybe 9th round. If you knew that Jennings was going through and you weren't going to be sure if he's going to start week 1 a week out, Ricky Pearsall could be their wide receiver 1, like going forward. Jennings doesn't have a grasp of that job. So yeah, this is a quarterback that we took in the 3rd round, the beginning of the 3rd round, and second pick in the 3rd round, somebody that we held in high esteem over other quarterbacks that have no receivers besides Ricky Pearsall right now. So it does not make sense to me why he would drop to the 11th round, and I just think that value is great. We could be talking about Ricky Pearsall as a wide receiver 2 next year.
See that? I mean, he really has, other than George Kittle, not much competition for receiving yards. And if CMC is still, kind of an older running back, as you love to call them, that he should be wrapping it up here soon too, because he's 30, turning 32 here any day. So, if he goes down, then that offense really has nothing other than just passing and try and force the ball out there. So I could see him having a good year. My next guy up is actually Matthew Golden. I think he will actually have a fantastic year in the Packers offense as long as Jordan Love stays healthy, of course. I think he'll finally make a real wide receiver one in that room of just kind of a bunch of random wide receiver twos and threes with Jaden Reed and Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks and Christian Watson, all these guys that have one or two good games here or there, but are never really dependable at all for fantasy standards. I think Matthew Golden's going to come through and actually be a true wide receiver one for that team.
Yeah, your pick is similar to mine, and it's like process of elimination. Like, who's going to step up to be that number one receiver on that team now?
It's like it's a great offense, it's a fantastic offense that's just been so unreliable other than Jordan Love basically for Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs have been good. Tucker Kraft has been good here and there if Love is playing, but then all the wide receivers are like, can I start him even as your wide receiver 3? You're like, I guess I have to. I'm with bye weeks or something. It's never a sure bet to start a Packers wide receiver, but I think you'll end up being that guy.
Yeah. I'll do a quarterback.
Is that another breakout?
Yeah, I'm considering one or two, and I'm kind of like looking ahead to my bus because I'm excited for my bus.
Yeah.
I'll do Bryce Young as my breakout. I think what we saw in the second half of last year.
Sorry.
No, I think he's going to be a breakout, and I think that.
I don't.
So I know what we saw at the end of last year was a little predicated on a few games, namely against the Falcons, and I mean, he showed up at the end of last year where it's looking like, wow, this was the guy that was drafted first overall, and maybe he's found something. The Panthers looked better on offense later last year, and like I've said in podcasts in earlier seasons, I like drafting people and betting on people who end the year super strong, like parlay it into the next year. And I think Bryce Young, with the first round Tataroa McMillan, I think that's Tataroa McMillan.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Once he comes into play at Arizona, I know they just got rid of Adam Thielen, but they got Xavier Legette and Chuba Hubbard. I really think this offense can start to roll. And I think they can start to like gel together and move the ball downfield. We still look at Bryce Young where we drafted him last year, right? But at the end of the year last year, Bryce Young became a legitimate like meat QB2. I think that with his age, adding talent around him, being in this offense for more than 1 year, and now 2 years, I really think he can put up some better numbers. And I really think that where he was drafted in our league, which was, I just remember it being late. And I know I've already hated on Trevor because
9th round.
No. No, he was not drafted in the 9th round. I know I've already hated on Trevor's team because when we did the whatever, because he did draft him in the 9th round. No, that's not true. That's not true. Look at the actual draft sheet.
In like the 5th or something. He had like 10 picks by the 6th round. He had something ridiculous.
Yeah. And like I said, I know I've already hated on Trevor for the way he drafted, and it doesn't like look good. But I do like Bryce Young individually, and he was, gosh, man, I surely should have done this research, right? In the 6th. So I really think that is really good value for the 6th round. Right around Cam Ward. Like if you're talking about Bryce Young versus Cam Ward, I think Bryce Young is heads and shoulders above Cam Ward.
I think Cam Ward's going to finish the year better than Bryce Young.
You do?
Yes. Cam Ward has already set a culture there, whereas Bryce Young is still like, oh, Andy Dalton, teach me how to be a quarterback. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I think that the Carolina Panthers are. It's like when you're playing kind of like a business game, and you're like, hey, if I have one business, I have to compete against all these other businesses. But if I pretend to have two and I just have the other one trade me all their best picks and players, that one's not a real business. It's just there to facilitate my real one. And that's what the Panthers are like. It's like they're never really trying to me. They trading away Adam Thielen for absolutely nothing. He was the only wide receiver with any experience in the entire room. And they're like, yeah, we'll take a 5th-round pick for him. It's like, that's such a joke.
But I think that's
I don't know.
because
I think they're awful, but
I think that's because they
we'll see.
believe in Xavier Legette. I mean, Legette looked decent at times last year. I'm just saying
They don't have anybody over the age of 25 on the offense. Not in a skill position.
How old is Hubbard?
Okay, Hubbard's 26. I'm sorry. The old man Hubbard in there. Old man Hubbard on the offense there.
Old hand Hubbard in the cupboard.
I don't think that spells success in the NFL. You don't want to be too old. You don't want to be old man Rogers. You don't want to be rolling out a guy in a wheelchair, but you also need some people, because it's not like any of those rookies have been like, oh wow, that rookie's really good, he'll lead the team. They're all been mediocre at best, and more often than not kind of shitty. So it's like, we'll see.
I know I've hated on, like I said, I hated on Trevor's draft as a whole because I didn't like the fact that he went Geno and Justin Fields.
Well, I really don't talk about the bust yet.
No, I'm just talking about his draft, where it's like, why didn't you just get really fucking good at one position besides tight end? Like, why didn't you spread it out so you've got like a bunch of wide receiver 2s or late wide receiver 1s and stuff like that? Like, why didn't you go out and get these solid guys? But we talk about Justin Fields and Geno Smith, but like the fact that he got Bryce Young that late, you didn't need Geno Smith. Like, I think Justin Fields and Bryce Young, or Geno and Bryce Young, or Bryce Young and somebody totally different.
We're getting off the rails here. So you're
yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to clarify that I like the Bryce Young pick. I think he's going to be a breakout.
But I don't like Trevor's team.
But I don't like Trevor's draft. Go ahead.
I want that to be perfectly clear.
I'm not a hypocrite, sir. Go ahead and do your breakout.
My last breakout is actually Cam Ward. That's why I was saying, I think Cam Ward's gonna have a much bigger year. I think he really, like I said, he sets the bar, and to do that as a rookie and to do it behind also showing up every day and putting in the work yourself, not just talking the talk but walking it as well. As a rookie, it shows leadership, and to me, as a quarterback, you inherently have to be the leader. It comes with the job, and to me, that's why I don't see Bryce Young as a quarterback, as a real NFL starting quarterback. It's like he never really believes in himself enough to go out there and really do it. He has a couple good plays here and there, but I don't know. He still looks like a little kid. That doesn't help. I think Cam Ward's going to turn Tennessee around. I think he's going to be a real factor in AFC South for the Texans to have to deal with, unfortunately.
I hope you're wrong week 1, and I hope you're wrong for the season's sake, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. All right, let's do some busts. Busts are more fun than breakouts because we're complimenting people's teams. Now we get to shit on people's teams.
Poo-poo on them, yes.
Poo-poo on people's teams. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, you can go first.
All right. Devontae Adams. I'm sorry.
Oh,
we're talking about that Rams offense, which I feel like is stitched together with staples. Like, it is just about to fall apart. And so you can still be like, okay, well, Puka Nacua can deal with it. Even if Stafford were to miss time, you still have a talented guy like Puka Nacua. If Jimmy G starts, Puka Nacua can still have value. But does Devontae Adams still have value behind a run game with Kyren Williams, who was drafted? Like, all these Rams were drafted so
Apparently,
high.
Jimmy G and Devontae Adams cut up the Dallas Cowboys in a joint practice.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't really take a lot of stock in the preseason like much less do I take stock in joint practices. But yeah, okay. So yeah, no, if you're talking about these Puka Nacua, these Rams, Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, they were drafted like up high. Puka Nacua was taken as the wide receiver. Where was he? 8.
Yeah, it's kind of high.
And Kyron Williams was running back 9. So you're putting value in those guys. So put Stafford aside. Like you're putting value in those guys and saying, hey, these guys are going to have fucking great seasons. 10 plus touchdowns for each of them, over 1,000 yards for each of them, and they're going to really like run this offense. That's great because you're probably not going to get a ton more offense besides that, like a ton more offense besides that. But Cause traded for Davante Adams that was drafted, was it 4th round?
He traded for him, really?
He did, because that was the round that he traded Kyler Murray. So he drafted Kyler Murray.
I thought it was just Kyler Murray for Baker Mayfield.
No, it was Bucky and Kyler Murray for Baker Mayfield and Davante Adams.
Oh, no. You got that wrong because.
No, I don't. Davante Adams and Baker for Bucky and Kyler.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
But Cause got to make the pick in the 5th round. So if we're talking about other 5th rounders, Omarion Hampton, even Scary Terry now, who I don't really love, but it is what it is. You've got, 5th round was kind of gross. Kenneth Walker. In the 6th round, you've got, some different folks like Bryce Young, Xavier Worthy, I even like better. Like, it just seems like that has no juice. Davante Adams has no juice. He showed that he didn't have a lot of juice in the first half. Yeah, he showed that had some bright spots when he came to the Jets, and he had a few big games with Aaron Rodgers. But I just don't see Davante Adams at 33 years old coming out and producing like a wide receiver 2. I mean, we're going to be talking 3, maybe 4 value. I think he's a bust. I really do.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I it's not going to help that my bust is Matthew Stafford.
Oh my gosh, we hate the Rams. Fucking hate the Rams.
He's 37 and he's got a bad back. Backs don't get better. They don't get better. I'm sorry. Anybody that has a bad back has been to the doctor and been like, well, we can do this to alleviate the pain. How long is that going to be? You can either do surgery or you can do pills. These are your options. But it's never a solution. It's just a temporary Band-Aid, basically, and it just gets worse. And never has a doctor told somebody with a bad back said, you know what? If you go out and play physical football against the biggest, strongest, fastest athletes on the planet, it'll make it better. No doctor has ever said that. So he is a ticking time bomb for all I care. It's not a good thing. I don't wish it upon him, but Jimmy G is going to start at some point here. It's just a matter of when,
Yeah.
So yes. So to me, the whole offense is downgraded essentially without Stafford, unfortunately. So.
I mean, I agree. I don't want to like throw Stafford out there because if the Rams say
it's too easy. Was it too easy?
Well, no, because if the Rams say he's okay, then he'll play.
It's propaganda.
I know.
Like buy season tickets. Buy season tickets. Matthew Stafford is fine. Please buy the jerseys. Everybody's fine. Everybody's healthy. Don't worry. Yes, there's a big box suite. $2 million, please. Thank you. Like that's why they're saying he's fine.
I mean, it would just be so funny if people were like, I just bought a Stafford jersey and he's out for the year. But no.
You got Jets fans crying in the back. The Rodgers jersey.
The way Stafford's going to play is he's not going to move around the pocket. We're talking about like last year or last 2 years of Brett Favre where he just stood in the pocket and just slung it around. Like, I think that's going to be Stafford. I think it'll lead to more interceptions. I think it'll lead to more sacks. But it's one of those, years where what you don't want is watching your quarterback and he gets hit pretty hard, and
you're
go,
like,
oh,
you're like,
please, no.
You're like, do I add the backup? Do I do it?
Yeah.
Is he gonna get up? He got up. Okay.
Michael should own Jimmy G. I mean, Jimmy G's on John's team, but he should have gotten Jimmy G before the draft.
Yeah.
Like, this was not something that we did not know 3 weeks ago. But yeah, you're sitting there like watching
they play
him
Houston
get hit.
week 1. Houston's got a pretty mean pass rush.
Will Anderson is going to come around. It just, you see him get up real slow, and you're like, God, what did I do? Why did I do
Danielle
this?
Hunter, man, if he gets to him, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Next. Sorry, go ahead.
Next, running back. Sorry, I got off track there. Oh, Breece Hall. I'm sorry.
Breece Hall.
I'm sorry.
We have
Breece
very
Hall's
similar
busting. Breece Hall's busting. Here's the thing: that offense is. I'm not going to say it's not going to work, because I do think that Justin Fields has games where he rushes for 2 and throws 2. So I do think Justin Fields is like the most ownable person in that offense. But I do think that there's not going to be a lot of consistency from anybody else in that offense. So if Trevor was going to draft him, I'm talking a lot about Trevor's team, but if Trevor was going to draft him, he needed to do it naked. He needed to draft Justin Fields naked. No stack and jack, just draft him naked.
No tripod? Don't start the tripod.
He did the opposite of naked. He put on all the jackets in the closet from the Jets, and he's walking around like hot as shit, sweating. And so, but I can really see young guy Braylon Allen spelling him on 3rd, 4th down. Oh my gosh, we've seen one drive of Breece Hall. Now let's see Braylon Allen. Like, they just switch off drives. 3rd down, oh my gosh, here comes Braylon Allen on a 3rd and long. Like, what I saw, I had Breece Hall. I watched every Breece Hall snap from like week 6 on last year. It wasn't great. I know you had Aaron Rodgers, so the offense may have been a little bit more readable than it is with Justin Fields and misdirections and whatnot. I just don't think that there's going to be enough production out of Breece Hall to even equal what he had last year, which was a modest number. I mean, we're talking about
last year, not bad.
213 last year is number 17, and he was good earlier in the season. So he faded as the year went on. So I really honestly think that there are better choices, and he's probably going to be selling Breece Hall for less than he bought him for.
Like you said, we have pretty similar picks, because my next pick is Justin Fields. So
oh my gosh,
we're not trying to poop on your team, Trevor, I promise. But I just think that there will be so many times where Justin Fields, yes, he will have some pretty decent rushing games and things like that, but like, I think he's going to ruin the value of Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, basically everybody else on the field, essentially, and he will have enough turnovers that he can't be like, he'll be a questionable QB2, basically, essentially. I think there will be, like, you'll have to play him by matchups. If you have a 3rd QB, be like, I don't like this matchup, I'm probably going to bench him here. So that's, I don't think, like I said, he's not only going to drag himself down, he's going to drag the rest of the offense down, which is an issue. So
I'll go QB. I'm going to go 1st round pick.
Oh.
And I don't have a lot of statistical.
It's Goff, isn't it? You hate Goff.
Goff wasn't drafted in the 1st round, so no. It's Goff. No, I don't really have a lot of statistical analysis or backup for this, but I don't think Bo Nix is going to be good. I think Bo Nix is a fraud.
Well, that's one thing. I like Bo Nix, but I think there's a high chance of there being a sophomore slump, just because it happens to a lot of good QBs. To a lot of good QBs.
It does, and I don't mind. Like, we watched this Denver offense struggle for a really long time, right? From an offensive perspective with Russell Wilson and people they had before that, it just they did not move the ball. Drew Lock and whatnot, they did not move the ball to the point where they were scoring 30 points a game. Their defense, fantastic. Their run game was decent. They could, like Cortland Sutton was somebody that we would have wide receiver 3 and somebody wide receiver 4. So Bo Nix comes in, and he's not even top 5 or 4 quarterbacks selected in the draft, right? So this is, I don't think he was. I think he was like the 6th guy overall. Was he a 6th guy? Yeah, 6th quarterback in last year in the draft, or 2 years ago in the draft, last year's draft. Sorry, and so yeah, it's like everybody overlooked him. On paper, he wasn't really supposed to be drafted that high, and then he comes in, and suddenly this offense works. Great. I think that's fantastic. I think he has value. I think that first round value for this guy in this offense is crazy.
The idea is that he could be Drew Brees and Sean Payton offense, basically.
There is not much room for improvement. You can't go. We're not going to be talking about. I can guarantee you, we're not going to be talking about Bo Nix middle of the first round next year.
Well, he would need to be like an MVP caliber season. Like, do you think Bo Nix would be talked about in MVP talks at the end of this season? And realistically, probably not.
Probably not. Is he going to run for 1,000 yards? No. He's not. He's going to run for
probably on that one.
Yeah. So fantasy wise, he's going to run for 300 to 500 yards. Is he going to score 10 touchdowns on the ground? No, he's not going to Josh Allen it. So to bring back that value, he's got to throw a fuck ton of touchdowns. Fuck ton of touchdowns. And I understand that last year he didn't play the full season, and he still came out and threw 29. I get that. He had a fantastic rookie year. But we saw this with Stroud.
Yeah.
And I know there was O-line problems and whatnot, but we saw this with Stroud come out and do this and then come back, and then we're talking about like, well, we really like him as a Texans quarterback, so should we draft him in the first round? I mean, somehow he was still drafted in the first round this year, which I'm not going to bust C.J. Stroud, but that wasn't a very good pick. I just think Bo Nix, there's not a lot of room for improvement. So if you're drafting him in the first round, you're drafting him at the tippy top of where he possibly could be, and there's just so much room for regression. Do you have one more?
I do. It's just tough. It's tough because it's like, I don't know if he can be considered a bust, Kyle Pitts.
Sure. If you're busting on somebody who's already a bust,
it's already been like he's been like a bust like 4 years in a row now. But
then he better be a super bust then. You're talking like 300 yards, losing your job bust.
Well, the thing is, the reason I say it is because there are so many other tight ends as free agents out there. And for someone to be starting Kyle Pitts to me is kind of laughable. It's kind of like, really? Like, you think after like 5 years, this is the year he's going to do it, while there's like literally tight ends out there with like multiple touchdowns and like, 500, 600-yard seasons on free agency wire. That's the other thing. I understand it's Michael Penix Jr. is supposed to make the offense a lot better and things of that nature. I don't think it's been everybody else's fault. I don't I really don't. He's had enough time to either fucking get it together or get the fuck out of here, basically. And they keep starting him because they're like, well, if we bail on him, then it's like we failed, we were wrong. So like just keep putting him out there. Maybe one day. He looks mean, so fuck it. He looks mean. He looks big and mean. At some point he'll do something, right? It's just it's not gonna happen. Just stop fooling yourself, I feel like.
Usually when you're talking about tight end prospects, there's not a lot of room for like bust, right? If you're drafted in the first round, or if people think, hey, this guy was a monster in college,
yeah,
you go to the NFL and you're usually a monster. People like Brock Bowers and Aaron Hernandez and Antonio Gates and all these people, they came in and they were physical monsters. and they showed that they can be that in the NFL. So it's weird to me that he can't get in and out of his routes and bully people off the line. It's insane that was something that everybody saw. The Falcons bid on it, and now he can't do that. For Cameron's sake, it's going to be if if Kyle Pitts does not score a touchdown week 1, there's going to be other tight ends that do. Probably other tight ends that score 2. It's going to be super tough to not use a move at that point. And you kind of knew that when you drafted him.
Yeah. That you're like going into it like, there's a high chance that he'll just do exactly what he's done every single year. And I need to now I'm in the tight end wheel of death, that it's not fun.
He was the only tight end that was drafted that I didn't have listed as a tight end 1, meaning I didn't think he would get drafted. Usually we take 14 or 15 guys and they're taken in a different order, but those are the guys that are
didn't even bring the shoe because I didn't think anybody was going to take him.
Yeah. Yeah, I had him at 16. And so that left 2 tight ends who are now picked up in between those him. Yeah. Looking at these rankings, man, I know we do this a lot, but if we were in a 2 tight end league, Kyle Pitts, hey man, maybe that's good value. If he busts, he busts, but it's whatever. But we're in a 1 tight end fucking league. And there's a lot of other tight ends. There was a lot of other tight ends after the draft. There's a lot of other tight ends right now. So if I'm Cameron, maybe I'm either trading for one or picking one up even before the season starts. So I don't necessarily disagree with that pick, even though there's not a lot of busting to do for that already big bust.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some free agents. Have you been playing with your watch list a little bit?
I'm surprised mine isn't full yet. I've been playing my watch list a lot.
Mine's full.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I started before, like right after we got our teams in there. I was like, okay, watch this guy, watch that guy. I'm all about my watch list.
Yep.
All about
it. So 3 guys we think should be owned. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll start because, we're kind of jumping off of what we were just talking about. I think Jonnu Smith should be owned. I think that Rodgers is going to pepper him and make him a focal point of the offense because he is so athletic. And if they put a linebacker on him, then he's just going to run circles around them. So he literally runs routes and does camps with wide receivers. He's agile enough for that kind of shit. So I'm very excited for him. I know there's a little devalue that there's also Freiermuth and Mount Washington, but I think he's going to get a really good amount of receptions regardless. Just gets like kind of quick passes from Rodgers.
Yeah, and he's going to line up in the backfield. He's going to line up at fullback at some point. So we might be looking at somebody who is on the field a lot. There's some tight ends that, like Isaiah Likely, who line up in the 2 tight end sets, who go out and catch passes and can be valuable even in a 1 tight end league. I mean, if you're talking about somebody who's going to catch passes out of the backfield, yeah, that could be somebody that should be owned. I'll stick with tight end, and I'm going to go. And these are people I think we have 6 bench spots. Why not have 2 tight ends if your tight end sucks? I think Mason Taylor from the Jets.
Really?
We've been talking so much Jets, but if you are Justin Fields, so this is a rookie who was drafted quite high. He was 2nd round this year, 10th pick by the Jets. So he's a rookie out of LSU. And if you're Justin Fields and you are playing the bootleg, which is going to be primarily one of his things, right? Because he can use his feet. Who's going to be the safety blanket underneath for you all day, every day, it's going to be that tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think Mason Taylor has the talent to be somebody that is worth starting in our league. I think he's a tight end one. I think he ends up being a tight end one. I've liked him. I've liked the tight end rookie class as a whole. I really like Arroyo from Seattle, and I really like Ferguson to take over for the Rams eventually. But Mason Taylor, I think just the spot he was put in and the competition is fantastic. So I like Mason Taylor. I think he should definitely be owned. What else you got?
Next guy, I think Adam Thielen. I mean, especially for
Feeling
the
it.
first, yeah, I'm feeling it. He's for the first few weeks, he will be a wide receiver two. I think is his floor. He will definitely be putting up points because they're going to be throwing the ball with JJ McCarthy in that offense. And right now, with Jordan Addison being suspended and Justin Jefferson, they say he's going to play, but doesn't sound like he's 100%. And we'll see how that hamstring holds up. If it doesn't, then Adam Thielen is all boosted into wide receiver one territory right away. So he's a veteran. He knows how to get open in zones and on man routes. He's going to get the ball regardless. And so I think, especially for the first few weeks, somebody could get some really good value out of him that probably have terrible wide receiver groups. Most likely somebody like
Chase.
yeah, Chase or Eternal Touchdown maybe. But yeah, so I think he's definitely startable in the league for a few different teams.
So yeah, I can almost guarantee Chase is listening to this podcast going, I'm not gonna pick up Adam fucking Thielen. But maybe he should. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Let me look at Chase's team real quick.
Receivers are just so mid, but the rest of his team's good. That's why I ranked him second.
He'll score more than Rashid Shaheed for sure. With
yeah.
Spencer Rattler starting, I thought that was a terrible choice. Spencer Rattler won't start for long. He started 6 games for him last year and lost every single game. When they said they were starting Spencer Rattler, I was like, no, you're tanking for a quarterback next year. You're hoping that Arch Manning leaves UT.
Yeah. I'm going to do another rookie. I'm going to do it on defense.
Ooh.
I really honestly think people passed on this guy because he might not play week one. But I like Jalen Walker for the Falcons. He was one of their top draft picks, and you really haven't heard much about him thus far.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking like, okay, he's not going to play just because he's hurt week one, so let's forget about it. But if you're talking about a first round pick, he was drafted first, 15th overall. He's got DL availability. I think honestly he should be owned, if not before, but at some point during the season, because DL is a very coveted position. There are two teams that don't have.
When he's saying DL, it's because he has LB and DL. He has both linebacker and defensive lineman.
Well, yeah, on the current depth chart, they have both their first round picks listed as backups. I just don't know how much you read into some of these depth charts before week one. It's you really don't know. But yeah, I mean, if he's not healthy, I can understand. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to use a move on him, but yeah, I think Jalen Walker is going to be a huge talent and somebody that needs to be owned.
Yep, like it. My next guy, I've got Cam Hayward. I just think he's a beast at defensive line. Especially he's old, but as long as he's healthy, he gets tackles for loss and he'll get a sack or two in a game for sure. Like he is just a beast. He's always a presence in the middle of the line. So I think for as far as defensive linemen, you can definitely do a lot worse.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I get that. I'll do one more on defense. because guys, I will tell you this: besides tight end, you've pretty much cleaned out the offense. There's not a lot of offense in my mind that's absolutely left. Like I was looking for a receiver, Malik Washington. It took me forever to come up with that. I'm looking at Michael Wilson and Josh Palmer, and
I think that one of the second Giants receivers will be valuable. You just don't know who yet.
sure.
I'm betting on Darius Slayton because what's it called? Russell has is a deep ball. So he doesn't throw to the mid level really. So
But Wandale's owned, isn't he?
no, he's not. Wandale and Darius Slayton are both free agents.
Oh.
Wandale.
Still, it's just.
I know they're not attractive, but I think that especially if Jackson Dart starts playing, then I think one of them will become valuable at that point for sure.
Maybe you might be right that they spread it out, but Darius Slayton, somebody like, I have a bye and I need a receiver on Monday night. Like, please give me a touchdown kind of person. That's it. And we're talking about week 1.
Well, some people have really bad wide receivers.
They do. That is true. Last one, I'll go defense. I'm going to go old man DeMario Davis. 128 points last year, 69 tackles, 2 sacks. This is a super unsexy pick, but probably a linebacker, probably one of the top, 42 linebackers.
Yeah.
D's. And somebody that's going to eat up points.
Yeah.
I'm not like 100% sure he's going to start, but right now depth charts have him starting. He's unowned. He did decent last year. I like him. I like DeMario Davis. I think that you could do worse for somebody, playing on the inside for the Saints, who are going to be on defense quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it.
You got one more for me?
I've got one more. I'll do one more. You on defense or offense?
I want offense because I'm intrigued.
Okay. Offense, I'm going to go Rico Dowdle. I think that he's running back 2 in Carolina's offense. I think that running backs are hard to come by, and every year we take them for granted a little bit, and then around week 2 or 3, there's this running back desert in the free agency with all these, because your guys start getting hurt, and everybody's like, "Oh no, I have no running backs at all," and they become very valuable. And he even, just a guy that can get you 8 to 12 points a week. You're like, okay, hey, that's fine. That's all I need, out of an RB2. So I think for some teams that punted on running back, it could definitely be valuable.
Yeah. You may be right about that. All right, let's do our predictions for the full season. We're going to do Rookie of the Year. We're going to do MVP. We're going to do Super Bowl picks. I mean, realistically, all right, I'll go ahead and give my Rookie of the Year, and I think my Rookie of the Year is going to be Ashton Genty. I'm sorry, he's on my team. I get it. There were no rules.
I couldn't choose him as a breakout, so I had to make him Rookie of the Year.
I'm sorry. I just think the amount of volume that he's going to get under Chip Kelly's offense with Pete Carroll is going to be staggering. I watched some of those preseason games, like you say. I don't want to put a lot of things on the preseason, but he hit the hole and he pushed starting 49ers to the ground. He trucked people. He looks super impressive. I think that he may not reach, he has the ability to be a top 5 running back. He's being drafted as a top 10 running back. But I really honestly think that if you're talking about rookie running backs or rookie receivers, Genty's just going to be the one with the most volume and by default Rookie of the Year.
Fair enough. That's definitely a possibility. I just worry about the Raiders' offensive line a little bit in order for that to happen. Because I think that Omari and Hampton might have just as many carries, if not more, behind a better offensive line is his problem. Rookie of the Year for me, though, is definitely Emeka Egbuka, though, by far. I'm kidding.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. No.
no
I mean,
rules
he
against
could. You
it.
never know. You never know. But I actually think it's going to be very boring, and I think it's going to be the first overall pick. I think Cam Ward is going to really revive Tennessee's franchise, basically, and he'll get Rookie of the Year just from being such a hell of a good leader. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. All right. Go ahead and you give me your MVP. Who's going to be MVP?
MVP, I think it's going to be Joe Burrow. I think that they actually make the playoffs this year. He breaks what's the touchdown passing record right now? 55 or something?
The touchdown passing record.
I think
Yeah.
isn't it 55 with Mahomes a few years back in like 2018 or something?
Do you think he's going to break the single season?
I think he is. I think
record?
he's gonna break that and get MVP, and they'll go to the playoffs, and their defense will let up 5 million points and they'll lose. But yeah,
it's 55 by Peyton Manning. Yeah, in 2013.
Peyton Manning. Oh, when he's with Denver. Okay, so yeah, I think he's gonna get like 56. Like they'll like force it in the last game just to get it. But I think he's my MVP this year.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy that you picked him over. Or you picked Lamar Jackson over him.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson can get more running, more rushing, and all the rest of it. He'll still do what he needs to do for fantasy wise. But
I'm like looking at these. I know it's crazy, but I'm like looking at the top three for these leaders, touchdown leaders. 2013, Peyton Manning, 55, won Scott Hedman championship, 2013. Tom Brady threw 50 in 2007, the season with Moss, won the championship for Scott Payne. 2018, Patrick Mahomes threw 50, won the championship for me.
Yeah, for you, right?
So if we're talking about Joe Burrow doing that then you're talking about Chase winning the championship with Joe Burrow being MVP, or something similar. So that's a good call. I mean, it's not a terrible call. I won't say it's a good call. It's not a terrible call.
I don't want to see a Chase championship. Yeah.
Well, we talked about the Bills being boring, but I got to go Josh Allen. I love me some Josh Allen, and I think he's looked really good these past few seasons. He can't get over that hump in the playoffs, obviously over the Chiefs. But I really honestly think that Josh Allen is going to win MVP this year, and the Bills are going to really set the standard for the AFC and probably go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, the Bills are my Super Bowl pick, actually. So I understand that.
Well, that sucks because that was my Super Bowl pick. But because you picked that Super Bowl pick, I will go ahead and pick a different Super Bowl pick. The person that I think is going to make the Super Bowl, or the team that I think is going to make the Super Bowl and lose, I'll just pick to win. So go Lions.
Who's that for you? The Lions.
Go Lions. I think it's Bills Lions. And I honestly, like in my heart, think it's going to be the Bills that wins, but I will, for the sake of this exercise, pick the Lions.
I think it's the Packers out of the NFC after the Micah trade. I think it's the Packers.
I think Mike Parsons is good, but one player doesn't make up the ground of the talent that the Lions have. I mean, they're just
makes a big difference. But okay, we'll see.
Yep. All right, guys. That's it. That's all we got. The next time me and you talk, well, we'll probably talk in between there, in group chats and whatnot. You'll laugh at some things, but the next time we really talk on a podcast, we are going to be competitively picking the matchups in the gridiron, and that night will be opening night. Cowboys, Eagles, no Micah Parsons. and real football, Scott. Real fucking football. So I'm
Very excited.
very, very excited. I appreciate you coming on with me today, and I appreciate you guys for listening to the entirety of our preseason series. There's been not one regular season snap in the NFL, and you've probably listened to hours of the Gridiron Fantasy Football Podcast. So we appreciate you, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same place. See ya.